Hi guys, you got Dank McFlank here. Here we are on Poland with the 3.7 Russian lineup. We actually get into a down-tiered game for once, so we end up wreaking a lot of havoc in this match. We get 15 kills and we get the win, but the gameplay is pretty fun and erratic, so I thought it would make a good video here. So I'm pushing up to A right now. I'm trying not to get into view of this road because I know there will be people sitting near the end of it, but I feel like I have to because there's a tank behind me that I can hear and I don't want to get in his way. So I cut across as fast as I can. And then, something you don't really see very often is these tanks, they decide to push out to the forest to see if they can get some shots on our guys that are, moving into the town, which I don't really think I've seen this lately, but it would work if they hadn't have gotten there that late. If they had been set up before we got there, they probably would have been able to get some good fire into us. But so you can see them. They're actually in a really good position over the hill. I knock out that Panzer though. He positioned his tank perfectly for the shell to penetrate. But all I can really get on this Panzer IV is shots through his roof. So I throw a few shots into him. I'm just trying to get a good shell burst inside of his tank to see if I can get the driver, maybe knock his crew out. I think I fire one more round before I get tired of this right here. So, you never want to waste too much time with one tank. If you can't get it, just move on. So I go back down this road. I use the stone fence at first as a shield in case there is a tank down there, but there wasn't anything that could really do any damage to me, so I start pushing across this courtyard to this alleyway to see. I actually take a shot from the left and it knocks out my radiator, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment. I want to see what's down this road here. I don't really see anything though, so I start peeking back to see what shot at me. The coast is clear from this point. So I start pushing up into A. We have a bunch of bodies near A, but as you can see, there are enemies and they're trying to push into it. So I see an LVT and then there's a Churchill Mark 1 right there. So I throw a shot into him. It's poorly aimed. I hit his turret. The Churchills are very well armored. I see an M2, so I put a shot into him. A lot of his crew is messed up, so I'm not too worried about him right now. I just want to get this Churchill out of the game. So I have to wait for my guy to get out of the way, and then boom, roasted right there. I just get a good shot into him. I see my ally right there takes a shot in the back, so I see a whole eye. Throw a shell into him. He's out of the game. I've been starting to peek around corners lately because I've had a few strings of games where I'm just getting completely wrecked. And one of the issues is I'm not looking around corners, which I wasn't really paying attention to my front here. I took a shot to the front, bounced though, completely annihilate the Cromwell who shot at me. So we're at 5 kills right now. It hasn't even been 5 minutes. I see an A13 down the road. I'm not really worried about his gun, so I come out, take a shot. I see that he fires though. He pulls his shot, and a bad move on his part. I can easily line up the shot, and there he goes. So I peek back out into the road. I see a Panzer III in the distance. I try to see if I can get a snipe shot on him. I can't really pull it off. So I move back into A. An M4 has taken a position. I actually shoot at his upper front plate quite a bit, and I get, I think, 3 bounces, which, it does have that pretty extreme slope, but I feel like RNG got me there. So he actually gets a shot into my turret, and at this point I can't fire back. I have to wiggle my tank to see if I can get him to bounce, which he does, thankfully. I know I'm dropping artillery on him at this point. I think I'm gonna get knocked out of the game, so I'm wiggling my tank again. He pulls his shot. I line him up perfectly, right through the I guess you could call that the upper front plate as well, but it's a lot lower than where I was trying before. I'm not really worried about this M3, but I don't want to get hit by anything at this point. I get tracked. I actually fire at him, and nothing happened, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But thankfully the Panzer IV mops him up. So at this point, I'm repairing. I'm also replenishing the crew. tank's pretty banged up. We want to get that track back in order. We're just getting artillery dropped all around us. I think we might have PO'd the team. Yeah, enemy team off. We're double capped. We're losing pretty bad right now. We need to start capping points if we're going to win this. So turn the tank around. I go back out and take a peek at the main square. See if there's any action out there. From what I can see, there isn't really anything. You know, there's a Panzer IV on the other side of the church, but I can't see him at this point. So I look back down the road. I don't see anything. I scoot, just, you know, thinking I'm going to get wrecked. So I start capping B, keeping an eye out for enemy tanks. As you can tell, I'm pretty wired at this point. Just keeping my head on a swivel. I don't want to get caught off guard. I can see on the map that, you know, we have enemy tanks in this area, but I couldn't really, you know, get a lock on them. We're actually capping C as well, so, you know, we went from being in a pretty bad spot to getting the triple cap. So I finished capping B, and I decided to move up because I can't really get a shot on any of these tanks, which is actually good because you can hear I was about to get bombed. So I take a position by these houses. I know that there are some substantial gaps in them, so I'm trying not to hang out for too long in them. You know, trying to move between houses. I see there's a shot right there from a KV-1. So I do something kind of foolish. I start angling the armor. I see he shoots again, so he's got a little while before he reloads. I just go out, shoot him right through the mail slot, right where you need to. And he gets ammo racked, which was pretty nice. So I completely turned my back to the enemy spawn, but, you know, I realized that there's a lower tier Russian tank behind me, so if they're going to shoot anybody, they'll shoot at him. So I roll around the corner, I see this Chihei with this dopey little tank in its eyes, and I throw a shot into him, but he doesn't really respond to me, so I'm not really sure what he's fixated on, but I know that I knock his crew out. Across the way I see an M2, so I throw a shell into him. I'm not worried about his gun, but basically a free kill. This Panzer III comes rolling down the street, so I look there and I see a little M3. I wait till he looks away and then I pop out real quick. I get him right in the shoulder, so he's out of the game. You know, at this point they've recapped A, but we still have the double cap. There's still a potential that we can lose. But, you know, I want to start knocking out some tanks. So, right before I fire, this Stug 3 dies. I was actually really confused by that. I thought another round had just, you know, flown off into space. But, so I take a look around. I don't see anything. Take another quick peek. I actually get a really good flank on this Valentine and this Panzer II. Just throw a side shot into him. It shows that he's dead, but he's actually not dead during the game. So I line up the shot on the Panzer II knowing that the Valentine is pretty messed up. Panzer II's gone. I give him a little MG shot and a little nudge letting him know he's about to die. Boom, right through the turret. And then I throw the trunk up and I begin to bathe in his fire. This is actually how Russian tanks get so powerful. They bathe in the flames of their enemies, which it actually strengthens the armor. It's actually how Stalinium, you know, works. You need to bathe your armor in the flames of your enemies. So I call in 2 artillery strikes just randomly, thinking I may get something. So at this point we're sitting at 13 kills, 2 caps. We're having a pretty good game. I'll take a peek down there. I don't want to get blown up at this point. Take another look down the road. Looks all clear. Start to push up because at this point the enemy hasn't really made a push past this point. I don't really look down the streets anymore. I know that I have a lot of allies in the town, so I'm not too worried about getting flanked. I see a T-50 up here. I don't really get a clear shot on him, though, so I don't take it. Panzer III pops up in the distance. I thought he might pop up on this side of the house, so I try to line it up. He never does, though. The T-50 does come back, so I just shoot randomly. Get a pretty nice shot and knock his crew out. That would have been epic if that hit that plane. I actually didn't even see the Panzer III. I didn't even know if he was over there. I just took a random horrible shot right into the dirt, as you can see. So we still have the triple cap. Their team is basically broken at this point. It would take some really strong, solid gameplay on their part to pull this back, but so, you know, I hate it. A lot of War Thunder players hate it, but we all head to their spawn and we try getting some free kills. I wish it was different, though. I wish, you know, it didn't just turn into a spawn camping fest. But so I take a shot at the Cromwell, and he's actually in my crosshairs, but nothing happens, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Maybe I hit the gate, because then it just falls randomly, but you know, I guess gates are strong enough to stop tank shells. Take a shot at the Sturmhaubitze. I try to line up another shot. Poorly aimed, though. His gun soaks it up. So that's basically the end of the game. We ended with 15 kills, but I hope you enjoyed the footage, and this is Dank McFlank signing out.